Hello, good morning, everyone. If you can hear me, can I please get you to confirm for me by typing yes in the chat box for me? Kindly type yes to confirm that I'm loud and clear. All right, thank you very much, Rosie. All right. Okay, let me see if I can also record the session from here. Oh, I can't. Ben, if you are with us at the IT department, can you please allow me to record my session from here too? Ben, kindly allow me to record my session from here. Rosina, if you can reach the IT team for them to allow me to record, I will be grateful.
Okay.
Thank you. Because I don't know how they get it to you, but if I can record, then I can also share the recording back with you after the class. Because I noticed that they're still not allowed. If anyone is in the IT department, can you please give me permission to record my class? Anyone in the IT department, if you are here, can you allow me to record my class? Rosina, otherwise, if they are able to get it to you after the class, they're recording to the class, that's fine. Because I've noticed that they don't send it to the class after the session. So I usually would want to record it myself and then I can share it with you.
No,
Has the
I've informed them. I'm waiting for a response.
Okay, but do they share the recording with you after class?
Not immediately after class.
But do you get it?
It comes very late. Look.
No, then let me get it for you because delays. Okay, I think I can now record it.
Yes, please.
All right. Okay, so good morning once again to everyone, and thank you very much for attending my class again this week. All right, so we are going to go deep diving into our course for this semester, and please, I'll beg all of you to, if you can, like I told you the first time that we met, take this course seriously because it could be another great opportunity for you to expand your career and probably your income as well. So I'll urge every one of you to take it as seriously as possible. It is not a very difficult course at all because I mean some of you have already done this course will notice that it's very practical from the diploma level. You only have to open up your mind and oh, why? What's my voice? And be able to oh, why? Excuse me, let me get some water to drink. All right. All right. So I was just trying to say that let's take this course seriously. And I bet you, and I promised you the last time when we met, that two things would happen. One, you get very good grades. And number two, you have that mindset to be able to turn some idea into some venture income making for you and probably expand your income and help you to live a better life and do whatever you want to do with the extra money that you get. Today, I want us to go a little deeper and get into understanding what entrepreneurship and the intrapreneurship and why this course for at all for nurses. And this for us at Garden City is so important because unemployment is on the ascendancy. Number two, many of us on this call, in this class, our income, as far as our salaries and wages are concerned, are not enough. That is why many of us in this class probably do two or three jobs. Even that still brings its own problems. You are doing two or three jobs, the income is not still enough to take care of yourself and your family. Number two, you are neglecting your family, especially your children. And the dangerous part is that when you start neglecting your husband or your wife, because you're working too much to make more money, you stand a chance of getting to another serious trouble. And I'm recently discussing or having an issue with, not an issue with them, but an issue has come up that we are trying to resolve where the man is a nurse, actually finished Garden City in 2018. And then in trying to make ends meet, started doing locum two jobs. And technically, this guy is almost out of the house almost every time. Some fight broke out between the wife and the husband, and then the husband got upset, the wife got upset, and one of them decided to go and find some other relationship. And the other person, I don't want to go into details in that. The other person found out that that person was cheating, and it's got to a point where it is so bad. It's all because we are chasing money. But is it possible that instead of chasing money and leaving your family alone and not giving your family attention and all that, is it possible for us to be able to generate some additional income with what we do already instead of doing too many jobs and still make some additional income and take care of our families and live better lives as couples and taking care of our kids. And for me, that's why this course is so dear to my heart because I know what it has done for me. And I told you last week, this entrepreneurship project and whatever it is has helped me a lot. And I thank God that I found myself in that space and I'm not relenting at all. And I'm doing my best to make sure that I'm able to also share some ideas with other people. And then we'll see. Was there anybody here who was able to join us last Thursday with Dr. Krista when we're talking about spirituality in business? Anyone? Please kindly show raise your hand in the chat box. Let me see. Oh wow, Annabelle was there. Thank you very much, Annabelle. Who else was there? All right. Okay, so those of you who were there, can one or two of you share some ideas with me? Fidelis, I know you were there. I saw you. Thank you, Fidelis, for joining in. Can anybody share an idea that you got on Thursday? Can anyone share? Please unmute your microphone. Or do I need to allow you to unmute? Okay, so Fidelis, can you please go ahead, unmute your microphone and share some thoughts with us? Hello, Fidelis, kindly unmute your microphone. All right, so Fidelis is not... Okay, Fidelis, please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Fidelis, go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I was part of I said it,
your sound is not clear at all, Fidelis. Look, there's so much echo in it.
Okay.
Okay, Fidelis, should I allow somebody else to try? Let's try it to Theophilus. Please kindly unmute your microphone.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, last Thursday I joined the workshop, which is about spirituality in businesses, and which was facilitated by Dr. Krista. And the little that I learned about it is that in as much as you are working to make money, you have to stay connected to your source of belief. Okay, that is you have to be what? Okay, sorry, a minute. Hello, Doc, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, please.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you have to stay connected to your source of belief, where you cite an example of an Indian man that you work with who set a little altar at the corner of his office where every Thursday, Wednesday, the day that he was born, you put a flower, then per your conversation with him, he what? Connected it, his ability to work with others and his productivity to that altar, that he derive inspiration or strength or some source of what knowledge from that altar. And Dr. Chris also gave us some Bible verses whereby she made us understand that when you are working, okay, whichever business that you are working, that you are so diligent in doing such a business, immediately you may not get the returns immediately, but being consistent and being faithful and diligent and focused, it will end up giving you enough returns in the future. That's the little, but then I was at work though, but that's the little that I can deduce from what we did last time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Theo. You really listened in Thursday. I'm so grateful that you joined in. And for those of us who are not able to join that last Thursday, please, if that Thursday program is actually a continuation of what we do in class. And I tell you, you can gain a lot of experience, a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas from those sessions to add up to what we are doing here in class. And then I see Rosina saying that Doc said that we should surround ourselves with positivity. That's so important. It's not everyone that wants you to succeed. It's not everybody that wants you to get better. But if you find the people that they are pushing you to get where you want to be, they eventually would help you and guide you and strengthen you to be that person that you really want to be as far as your profession and your career and your business is concerned. So please join again this Thursday. I will share the flyer with you once we confirm the topic and the guest who is going to speak to us. and then we can continue our conversation from there. So please, 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 I beg you. And also, there are a lot of YouTube videos that most of the recordings we have shared on YouTube that also can help you a lot. And most of the topics we are talking about have been recorded again on Thursdays by other professionals, where I bring lawyers. For example, a lawyer talked about how to register your business, types of partnership, and all those things. So please, I'm just urging you, encouraging you to just go there and continue the conversation by watching and listening to us on every Thursday. All right. So today, let's go a little deeper. Okay. Letitia also says that Krista said Christians are not able to manage their finances well. And it's true. And I remember there was a case in our church one time when a man made either a mistake or not, me, I don't know. He said he dropped his salary, no, all the money that was in his pocket, that he actually took money from somebody that morning when he was coming to church. So when he came to church, at the time when we were putting the collection, he put the money in there. He said that he was going to take part of that and drop it there, but he didn't understand why he took all the money and dropped it there. So the priest should give his money back to him. Either true or not, me, I don't know. How can you be that irresponsible? We think we are Christians? No, I don't think so. One time we'll talk about personal financial planning, and I'll share with you what my method, what my formula for managing my personal finances are. And I can tell you, I thank God. It's not bad. I thank God. And maybe when I share with you, some of you might take some ideas from there. And again, some of you might also be able to share your formula and your thoughts with us. And then that would help us to be able to make ourselves better. For me, teaching here is not just about just teaching you for your record's sake. We are matured people, we are responsible parents, we are responsible husbands and wives, and there are so many things we need to know to make our lives better. And the few that we have learned, we'd like to share with you anytime that we have the opportunity to do so. All right, so let's go a little deeper today. So today we're talking again about relationship marketing strategy and entrepreneurship for all of you. I want to dwell on briefly to lay another foundation to talk about the challenges in the healthcare system and how we here in this course can have the right mindset and be able to take advantage of what the problems are in the health sector and create business out of there in terms of entrepreneurship. And then I also want to share with you the pathway to health prosperity, the entrepreneurship and the intrapreneurship path. And now course overview did last week, so I won't go through that again. All right, so a bit about me. I won't go through all that. I actually have a PhD in strategic marketing, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I do a lot now in the health sector. For this week, for example, I was in the Domahinkro Presby Hospital, taking them through customer service, patient satisfaction. How can we improve the patient satisfaction in the hospital? And an amazing time. And if there's anybody in this class who works in that hospital, I want to thank the management for giving me the opportunity for coming in there to talk to close to 150 150 nurses, mostly, I mean, the professionals in there, about what can we do to improve upon the current client service, client satisfaction in the hospital. And I'll be telling you again, if anybody is interested in me coming to your facility to do such things for you, I'm very glad to talk to you as well. And I'll tell you what I do along that line as well. And Prince says that sometimes lack of understanding of the work we do, I'm not too clear. Please redo it again. I really can't understand that. Right. So how did I get in here? So I started my career off as a geography student from the University of Ghana. And at the same time, when I was doing my first degree at Legon, I started doing marketing. So by 2012, I had already chartered as a marketer. And I thank God that I found that opportunity, because since then, since I became a chartered marketer, I thank God I've never known unemployment. And today, if you ask me anything about geography, I have no idea. But if you ask me anything about business and marketing and sales and business development, entrepreneurship, I will tell you everything that I know, even when I'm sleeping. Now, right after my chartered status, I started working at Joy FM as a sales and marketing person. And then they brought me again to Love FM to also work in there as well. I'm trying to show you a trajectory, also to share with you that it is very clear that if you really look at the profession you have right now, there are so many opportunities in there that you can take advantage of and build a business out of that. Then I went to work at Kinafama a bit, so I have some knowledge in the pharmaceuticals industry. And I work with Vodafone, now Telecel, also as National Direct Sales Manager for some couple of years, and I left off. Did some bit of Dark and Lovely, selling all the hair products that you guys use for your hair and your body. So I know the types of hair. I know what pomade, what shampoos, what relaxers to use for your hair. So if you want advice, please come to Dr. TK, and I'm going to help you do that. And I'm just kidding on that. And then eventually came to teach at Garden City University. Now, if you look at this trajectory that I'm showing you, you see that from geography, social sciences to marketing business to media, Joy FM, Love FM, to pharmaceuticals, to telecom, Vodafone, Telecel, to cosmetics, Dark and Lovely, and to academia, Garden City. This trajectory tells you a story. And for me, it tells me a story. The story it tells me is that, number one, as parents in this class, we should all try to be the career guidance for our children. I did not find anybody who could help me to identify my talent or my gift or what I really wanted to do. By which reason, if I knew that I was going to be in a university and be teaching, by this time I should have been a professor. Long time ago. Why then do I have to now go through to do marketing, go to the media, go to pharmaceuticals, go to telecoms, and come to cosmetics before I eventually drop into what I really love doing right now? Of course, now it's given me a lot of experiences because now, based as a consultant, as a business consultant, anytime I'm speaking to my clients, based on the experiences I've gathered from all these areas, it gives me a better version to be able to talk to this client well. But that's okay. But how about if somebody guided me from day one for me to know where I was going to be a consultant and learn the right things to be who I wanted to be today? So parents in the call right now, please observe your children, observe them, and guide them to do the things that they want to do. I teach the regular students the nursing and midwifery class. Many of the children in that class are in that class for midwifery and nursing because their parents have said they have to do those courses. Otherwise, they will not take care of them. So it really, you can see that even though they are doing the courses, that's not their career. That's not what they want to do. So imagine somebody who is a nurse or a midwife and does not really want to do that course, and this person is in the ward taking care of patients. We are in trouble. All that I'm saying with this, I'm showing you, is let's be cautious, let's be diligent in trying to help our kids identify their gift and then helping them. Officers. All that I'm saying is that become a police officer of a different. If God wants you to become a nurse and you really want to become that nurse, be that nurse of a different. If you want to become a teacher, be a teacher of a difference. Because we are all called, like Dr. Okesa said on Thursday, that whatever gift, whatever profession, whatever business we are doing, we are stewards in the hands of God to use those gifts and talents and profession to help other people. So whatever you do, you must do it to the maximum benefit to the people they're actually doing them for. Now, having done that, I started my consulting firm. And the consulting firm is what gets us to do the Thursday programs every day. One time I'll tell you about how this consulting business came up. But this side business that I've had in the consulting business, honestly, to the glory of God, has really helped me. It has opened certain doors that under normal circumstances, if it was my own, there's no way I would have been able to do those ones. And the purpose of this entrepreneurship business, consulting business, is that we are entrepreneurial leadership training, business development, and strategy consulting firm. And our main focus is to help you build your business and build it to last. Our focus is in Africa. And thankfully, we've been to 7 different African countries. I've been invited to 7 different African countries where I've gone to speak on entrepreneurship, where I've gone to speak on business strategy, where I've gone to speak on business development and sales and marketing strategy. It's not because I'm a superhuman being. It's not because I'm so special, but I've been able to identify what I really want to do, and I'm putting all my heart into it and doing it so well that gradually doors have been opened to me. The question I'm asking you is that how seriously are you taking your profession as a nurse or as a midwife? Can people call you and say that because you are a nurse or midwife, you are such a unique person and come do this for me? That is part of entrepreneurship. Latter part of last year, KNUSC IDL invited me to speak on entrepreneurship to the master's program. Oh my goodness, it was such an amazing time. And that is where I got to understand that there are so many people who want to get themselves into that space of entrepreneurship, but unfortunately, because nobody is guiding them directly, it's getting them difficult. That gives me the confidence that what I'm doing is right, which means that we can help as many people as possible to be able to go deeper within themselves and start their own businesses and become better people. And I'm going to show you very soon that in the health sector, there are so many problems that if we can have that mindset of entrepreneurship, seriously, my dear friends, you can build a business in there. And last time when we met, I told you a lot of them. And because of this consulting business, I thank God that all these companies and many more have opened doors to us. And I'm grateful to God that I've had a chance to work with many of these people. If you want to look in what you do, you can also identify some of these things. Now, the connection is that I teach marketing and entrepreneurship at Garden City, and I've converted that marketing and entrepreneurship into a consulting business. So there's no diversion. Directly connected to what I do and what I love to do as a professional, as a teacher or as a lecturer in the university, converted that into consultancy. It also means to me that if you are a nurse or midwife, you can still look in your profession as a nurse or midwife and find a business in there. And for me, that's a purpose for this course that we teach you at Garden City. We want to make sure that every single student that goes to Garden City is able to have that understanding of what entrepreneurship can do for you. So very soon, every course on that campus, once you come to Garden City, you must learn some course on entrepreneurship. Because if you are doing IT, computer science, you should be able to build a business out of IT and computer science. If you are doing marketing, you should be able to build your business, marketing agency, advertising agency, social media agency. If you are doing accounting at Garden City, you should be able to set up your own accounting firm, offering bookkeeping services for small businesses. If you are doing MLT, you should be able to set up your own lab services, your own lab business. If you are doing nursing, is it possible to look in that nursing profession and be able to identify a program and build a business around that? And I'll tell you countless stories of people who have come to Garden City and have actually come to my consultancy business and they have built their businesses today. My dear friend, that's the purpose for this course. And I've told you and I promised you, there are two things that you benefit from this. One, if you take this course seriously, as practical as it is, you will get good grades. Number two, if you take it seriously and want to apply it to your life, you can create your own personal economy. And my dear friends, the companies who are seeing on this screen haven't paid me small. They've taken care of us, and I'm grateful to God. And I thank God that He has given me that opportunity to do what I do. And please just be with me and type "thank you, God" in the chat box for me, just appreciating what God has done for me, which case is also going to do for you. Please type "thank you, God" in the chat box for me. Please say thank you, God. Let's just say thank you, God. Let's say thank you, God. Please do that with me. And I'm very grateful because now I have the chance, I have the experience now share with you, because if it hadn't been His grace upon us, there's no way I would have come this far. And having come this far also means to me that you, being a nurse or midwife, you can also do something around that. So all those who have typed "thank you, God," I thank you also. I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful to all of you for all that you have done for us. Good. All right. Now let's do a little overview. A little overview on a little overview on in the health system in Ghana. Health system in Ghana, or healthcare system in Ghana. I don't know which one is correct. Is healthcare system in Ghana or healthcare in Ghana, whichever. Now, we are learning entrepreneurship from the perspective of health. So in order for us to now see what opportunities are in there in the health sector for us to be able to now tap in there and build an entrepreneurial ecosystem that we want to have, I want us to take a bird's eye view in your sector. Let us see what is happening in there. And let us try to see if it's possible for us to be able to tap into some ideas, some opportunities, some problems in there that we can find. And that comes with us how I got into my PhD in the health sector. I'm a typical business person. Apart from doing social sciences in the first degree, my career has purely been in the business area. But how did I get into the health sector? And now today, I do a lot of training, a lot of consulting, a lot of strategy session for hospitals. Currently serving on 3 different boards in this country. And again, I'm trying to say this to encourage you. I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to encourage you that please wise up, please sit up, please think, please put on your entrepreneurial mindset. And last time I told you that the fastest way or the easiest way to take people out of poverty is to expose them to the power of entrepreneurship. That is true. How did I get into this? So my father got very sick. He had issues with his kidney, and then they had to take off one of his kidney. So he died. And his death was as a result of some nurses' negligence in the ward. What happened? My father was going to lie on the bed in the hospital, and then on his bed in the hospital, he slipped off the side of the bed, fell down, his head hit the bedside locker, fell down on the floor, and then the nurses delayed in going to attend to him. and as a result of that, he died. Too many issues around that. I'll just use that as an example because the other things happened around him before he died. Now, how come that you are a professional and your duty in the ward is to take care of patients who are in there, and the person falls off the bed to the floor, and then a patient calls you to go and take care of this person on the floor, and you delay so long to the point where the person even died before you even got there? I almost sued Entrepreneurship for it, but I decided not to because after all, the man is dead and gone. But today, my dear friends, I'm going to show you that so many medical legal issues are happening that if you're not careful, somebody will sue you. And people have been sued. Hospitals have been sued. Individuals are being sued. Now, gone are the days where somebody wants to sue you and say, well, let's set it out of court. Then you fear them. Now, those are past and gone because now the person knows that if he sues you at the court, he's going to get much more money than you doing it underground. The court can sue you to pay 1 million Ghana cedis to a patient. But when they come to you, can you pay 1 million Ghana cedis to a patient? One man abroad swallow 20,000. So now they are better off seeing you and then getting more money from you than just doing those settlement out of court. So my father died out of this. As a result of that, in trying to understand the many challenges that I was hearing in the health sector, I decided to take my PhD in the health sector. And my topic for my PhD was total quality management and patient satisfaction in Ghana, the role of internal marketing and contextual factors. I was trying to understand, come in there and do deep dive research to understand how the health system works. Number one, I got to understand that as far as our technical knowledge is concerned, as far as we understanding how to work is concerned, as far as the doctor taking care of the patient, the nursing taking care of the patient, those technical skills are concerned, we are too good. We are very, very good. But what we are lacking is the soft skills. Soft skills meaning that how do we relate to the patient? What are the human relationship skills that we need to know? What are the communication skills that we need to know? What are the teamwork skills that I can understand to be able to work well with my colleagues at the office, at the hospital, to work well? Issues about emotional intelligence, issues about effective communication, issues about team building, team bonding, and working together. That took me to do this in the health sector. And my study areas were all the 5 teaching hospitals in Ghana, i.e. Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Confanacy Teaching Hospital, Ho Teaching Hospital, Tamale Teaching Hospital, and Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. These were my focus. My dear friends in the class right now, I personally collected the data myself. And honestly, the result that I got is so amazing. It's so amazing. And that's why I want to share with you now, Charles Benjamin Froback. And that's why I want to share with you now. Okay, so now me not being in the health sector and me being out of the sector and now going in there to now research to find out gives me better understanding of what is in there. So that's why they say sometimes that don't just send in the church here. You are in there, you might not know what is going on, but I'm sure you know that there are too many problems in there. And I'm situating this in our course because once you begin to see these problems, you begin to also understand that where there are problems, you can make money. Where there are challenges, you can build a business, solve the problem, build a business around the solution, and make money out of that. So let me share some few things with you. Number one, key health challenges leading to the global patient dissatisfaction. Why globally patients are not happy? Why globally patients are complaining all the time? Now, World Health Organization technical report in 2021-2022 indicated very clearly that 4 out of 10 patients are harmed in primary healthcare yearly, every single year. Number two, $42 billion is spent yearly on preventable medical errors. Medical errors that if people became a little bit diligent, would have been able to save people. But unfortunately, we are not able to do that. And as a result, people die, and it's costing the global health sector $42 billion every year. Next one was that 134 million adverse events occur each year in hospitals, leading to 2.6 million avoidable deaths in low and middle income countries, amounting to trillions of dollars. This actually, in fact, includes what happened to my father. Preventable death. The patient has fallen down. Somebody should have quickly got that and pick the person up, put the person on the bed, do whatever you're supposed to do to save the person. But unfortunately, attitude-wise, we lost it. Next, there's in Ghana as well, there are studies on high patient satisfaction, a lot of studies, and I'll just show you a few. And now I would like now for some of you to, one of you to just volunteer to read for us. Who wants to volunteer to read for me? Can you raise your hand? Who wants to read? Okay, now let me call somebody to read for us now. Let me call on, I want a female voice. I want some soothing, nice female voice this morning to read for us. Okay, Belinda, thank you very much. Please go ahead and read for us.
Okay, sir. Studies on high patient dissatisfaction in Ghana. 1. Overbearing attitudes and negligence of some health professionals. Akwemu et al. 2020. Inadequate modern facilities. Association of Satisfied Chartered Accountants. ACCA 2019. Long waiting times at the hospital. Akwemu et al. 2020. Escalating medication errors and medical negligence. Yeboah 2017. Reported cases of missing babies at SCAS 2012, 2013, 2014, 2017. Kweku Dohu 2018. 5. Increasing medical legal issues in Ghana led to high financial losses and loss of the reputation of facilities and health professionals. Kweku Dohu 2018. The no birth syndrome. Demise of the late Anthony Opokwe Champon in 2018 and Enyan in 2015. GHS 2015-2018.
My dear friends, these and many more are some of the research data that I gathered. More. And some of them are really true. Okay, so now, if I'm sharing this with you because there's so much we can do. So, for example, if you take the overbearing attitude and negligence of some health professionals, how about if you decide to learn about some soft skills and decide to go into the health sector and start giving training and consultancy to hospitals? Number one, you are a health professional. Number two, you have years of experience in that sector. And number three, you have learned how to now train people or empower the staff members to have better attitude towards patients. Wouldn't you get some business to do? Assuming that you go and do training program and they pay you 5,000 cedis per session, and then you're able to do 2 sessions per month, that is 10,000 Ghana cedis. So how much do you get paid for working for 30 days? And this 5,000 Ghana cedis they are going to pay you, maximum 3-4 hours, you are done. So in 3 hours, you get 5,000. So in twice of this, that's 6 hours in a month, you are making 10,000. Meanwhile, you're working for 30 days, they're paying you 4,500 Ghana cedis. I'm only challenging you, my friends. This class, I'm only going to challenge you. So don't look at it as a normal, typical academic theory stuff that we're talking about. Whatever I say to you, if it makes sense to you, just look at the challenge part of it. And I'm sure there are many of you in the class right now who can do even better than I do right now, becoming consultants in the health sector. In fact, if I had a health background and I'm thinking of going to do MPH, Masters in MPH, I'm thinking about it because I'm beginning to feel that if I have some knowledge in your technical area, in the health area, I can be a better consultant in your sector than I'm doing right now. You have it already. You have it already. You have the health 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years of experience in the health sector. How about you veering off a bit and becoming a consultant? The unfortunate thing is that either you like it or not, by age 60, you go on pension. And by age 60, when you go on pension, what are you going to do? Are you going to be sitting in the house and be taking care of your grandkids? Just that? No. There's so much experience you might have gathered over the 20, 30 years you have worked as a health professional that you are not permitted, in fact, you are not permitted to stay at home and let that knowledge just die with you. Just allow that experience you have gathered over the years die with you. No way. You are not permitted. You are supposed to put that together in a business model and start making money out of that. And that's why I come in. If you have an idea that you want to transform that into a business idea to make money out of that, please get back to me. I have what it takes to help you. I help professionals with skills and experiences with their network and everything else to transition into business. Model whatever experience they have had into business. I can help you. These are some of the research that I found. But now let's go to the media reportage. Let's go online and show you some things that have happened in the past. If what we are talking about makes sense to you right now, please, I want you to type value in the chat box. If you are finding value so far, And I'm beginning to challenge your mind a bit for you to get to see that no, there's more we can do with what I have right now. Please type value in the chat box. And this class, I'll ask you to do a lot of things. If you don't type, you sleep. If you don't type, you will not understand. So please type value in the chat box. And of course, as the discussion goes on, if you have any question, please drop it in the chat box and I can answer all those things for you. Okay. All right. So Siraka says that, Doc, please, some of us don't have a lump sum of money to start a business out of our salary. It is not true, my dear. You don't need a lot of money. See that? You don't need that. Look, if you want to become a consultant, you don't need that. Okay, probably when I get there, I'll explain to you. There are some businesses, if you want to start, you need a lot of money. If you want to start a chemical shop, you need money. If you want to start a pharmacy shop, you need money. If you want to start a hospital, you need money. But if you want to do even home care services, which I'm going to show you a lot of examples, home care services, you don't need a lot of money. All you need is probably some branded t-shirt and jeans and baseball cap and sneakers. Get a very small bag and put the basic things in there. And I'll show you that we actually did one for one of your colleagues. She does home care. She goes to homes of people who have diabetic wounds. She goes to their homes to go and dress their wounds for them. She did not start buying, she didn't start with a car. Last year, I think around June last year, she bought one of these Toyota Voxy or whatever car, this black small car that has come, and branded it. She has employed 3 nurses. They go to the homes of people with infectious bad diabetic wounds to go and dress their wounds. She charges per patient between 2,000 and 3,000 Ghana cedis per month, taking care of these people. As of June last year, when she came to show me the car that she has bought before she branded it, she had 18 clients. 18 clients. That is why she has actually employed some of the nurses who have just finished school to be doing the job for them. So now if she has 18 clients and she's charging 2,500 Ghana cedis per client. This our dear friend who finished Garden City, Agnes, is making 45,000 Ghana cedis a month. 45,000. Let's assume she even uses half of that to pay the bills, pay for the fuel, and pay the staff that she's working with. If she's doing half of that, she's comfortably making 22,000 Ghana cedis a month, just side business. And when I met her last year, she was telling me, "Oh, so Jai, she wants to stop being a full-time employee at the hospital and concentrate on this." I said, "No, it's not time to do that yet. She should work till the time she gets 50 clients before she stops doing the full-time job." My dear friends, sometimes we need money, but not all the time. And I'm going to challenge you. There's so many things I can share with you that you don't need money. As far as the health sector is concerned, you don't need too much money to start some of these businesses. All right. Wow. Okay. Now let's see. Rich hospital in trouble. Slammed with 3 million damages over death of woman during negligent CS. A lot of medical legal issues are coming up because of our own negligence, because of our own unprofessional conduct that we do at the hospitals. You see, is that's risky? I don't think so. I mean, years ago we heard that yes, it will be operation, no be a no. These days it doesn't work. So how can somebody have CS and the person dies? 3 million Ghana cedis. Rich hospitals have to pay the money. Next, blood from Confidential Hospital Blood Bank tests positive for HIV and syphilis. Well, and it was true or not, it was reported in the media. Big trouble. 37 hospital slammed with over 1 million for women's death in childbirth. Why are women dying at the time they are dying? And I'm sure all of you midwives on the call right now will know that, yes, childbirth is risky. At the point the person is giving birth, it's risky. But is that risk that people should be dying because of some negligence? I don't think so. Man, 70, dies after 7 hospitals turn him away due to lack of bed. And this was the no bed syndrome issue. They say there are no beds. Is that true? Is it not true? Whole teaching hospital to investigate nurses' verbal abuse on patients. So now we talk about attitude earlier on. A patient goes to the hospital and then the nurses are abusing the person, either shouting or screaming or maybe insulting. Do you know what people are doing now? A patient is sitting in front of you, my dear friends. The person's lens he's wearing has cameras in it. The person's watch he's wearing has a camera in it. The person is holding a pen. There's a camera in it. The person's button in his or her shirt has a camera. The person's baseball cap he or she is wearing has a camera in there. Oh, my dear friends, you better sit up. And there are many people who are misusing their profession to abuse people. I recently heard a story. I don't know how true that was. So a lady went to the hospital and then she was going to get injection. And unfortunately for this lady, well, not unfortunately, the nurse who was going to give the injection to the lady was a male. Who is this disturbing us? Please, Annabelle, you are a co-host. Please mute her for me. So control. Irene Brago, please mute your microphone. Distracting. So, Construct, please, anytime somebody comes in to distract, kindly drop it for me so that doesn't distract my thought process. What was I even talking about? What was I talking about? See, that's the problem with people distracting us in class. Oh. Chalamun Kaimi, then I make a Rosina.
Disposable cup.
Say you were talking about people's
I want to do that. I want to share near page.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was talking about the injection issue. I beg you. Let's put everything on mute. Rosina, if you can you put everything on mute?
They're done. Sir, please, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, I think it's done now. Okay, so I was giving an example about the lady who was going to be injected by a male. So at the point when the lady went to the injection room to get the injection, Udruana guy said wrong way. You understand the word? So now a male nurse is going to give an injection to a female young lady. And I'm sure the lady was beautiful. And I'm sure maybe the lady back too was nice. And I'm sure maybe she was even wearing beads. Praise the Lord. Don't bother me. Don't worry me. So now the guy says that Rohwe. Rohwe means a lot. And I'm sure as a professional nurse, that's not how you're supposed to tell a patient to come for injection. So the lady, according to the story that I heard, said, me saying. And that exchange alone ended up in something. The lady's interpretation of Rohu means that Rohu, na me bibi. Take care of your dress and let's do something. But that wasn't the intention of the nurse. The nurse's intention was that please take off whatever you're supposed to take off for me to give you the injection. But the way he said it, the tone and the flow would have meant something sensual. That issue alone almost got the hospital into trouble. Unfortunately, this lady has started law school. You know, the one they do in the university was not, I think UPSA or something like that. And then trying to just show off her law stuff, said that the guy said, as if the guy was said that take off your dress, let's have sex. But that wasn't what the intention of the nurse. The intention of the nurse was that once I'm ready with my syringe and my medicine, please come let me give you an injection by taking off your panty or whatever it is. But the way he said it created a big issue. My dear friends, we need to be very careful. Now, was a nurse a bad person? No. Was a nurse not a technical person, not knowing how to give injection? No. But this person needs training. They need how to talk to people, how to effectively communicate with their patient in such a way that it doesn't sound sensual. Won't you get into that space and start giving training on effective communication with patients? Won't that give you some business? This is the kind of challenge I'm trying to put across to you, my friends. Simple statement, wrong. Take care of your dress. And that ended up in trouble. So what I'm basically trying to say is that as nurses, as midwives, as health professionals, there are so many things that we can do. Unfortunately, you know why the nurses and midwives are always in trouble? Because you are too many. So one person does something, a nurse or midwife does something, and then we just equate it to everybody in the profession. That means to me that there has to be a lot of training, ongoing in-service training with effective communication and soft skills for every health professional for them to be able to do well. And I'm telling you, from this month, January, we're almost in February now. This month, January alone, I had four different sets of training for 4 different facilities. including the one that I just did at Doma Presby Hospital. There's so much opportunity. From now till, I think up to July or so, I have more than 18 different bookings. 18 training programs. I don't know how many I'm going to do this year anyway. Last year was amazing. Last year, God opened so much doors for us. And I'm very grateful to your colleague nurses and midwives who were in the class. They introduced me to almost all their facilities. And now be afro, say my boss, call my boss, call my boss, call my boss. And every time I call some boss, they ask for a proposal, they give me the permission, I go in there and I go and do some business with the people. My dear friends, I'm just challenging you. There's so much opportunity out there for us to do. And for example, if we are talking about money to start this kind of business, as this kind of training, this kind of consultancy, you don't to do it and do it well. Investing in your skill set to be able to now understand how to facilitate a training program to make it much more impactful. Because your role there is to make sure that whoever that will be in the training program that day begin to have a behavioral change so that you don't go and say wrong, but you could probably find a better way of talking to the patient in such a way that the patient will be comfortable coming to you as a nurse to have the injection. Me, I fear injection, brute. I don't know what about injection that I fear. I hate it, especially when you pull after you have put the medicine in the syringe and you try to push a little bit of the drug out to take off the air, and then you not when I see that thing, actually scares me, brutal. Is there a way that you can say in such a way, oh, take an injection, is there a way you can say it nicely for me to be not afraid of taking injection? There's so much to do, my dear friends. And I'm only challenging you in this class. All right. Now, there was this almighty case with Suweba at Konfanochi. Parliament has to come to this situation because Suweba, a Muslim lady, has come to Konfanochi to deliver a baby. And according to the story that I read from online, the lady's baby, according to the midwife, said the baby is dead. And the woman says that, please, I have struggled so much to get this baby. So if the baby is dead, I'm a Muslim, please let me hold my baby and so that I can go and bury it and know that, yes, I got the baby and the baby died. And the people were saying the baby is dead. Bring my baby. You say you can't find the baby. What at all happened that we couldn't find the baby at that point in time? The story got so serious. Confucius was not able to handle it correctly. The woman had to report this case to the parliament, and then the speaker of parliament asked Confucius to produce the report of the missing baby at Confucius. That was the Suwebe's case. These are serious issues, my dear friend. Now, today we are talking about this because AOB is happening to somebody else. Hey, by my dear friend, just be set up. It cannot happen to you. Pay or Die, the agony of pregnant women, part 2, Kolebu Teaching Hospital and exposed. And there's a video online about this. Too many problems. Court awards 326,456 damages against some J hospital in Accra for negligence. Again, another wahala. Another trouble. So imagine you have a private hospital and you are sued 326,000 Ghana cedis. Charlie, the hospital will die. You will die. It will collapse. Apart from you finding the money to pay this money, the image and the trust level of the hospital will go down big time, and eventually the business will die. And that's why we are in this class together to learn what we can do so that we can build a business. We can take our profession seriously and then be able to build a business out of that, if possible, to solve the many health problems that we have in the health sector. If you agree with me, please, if you agree with me that there's so much work that needs to be done in the health profession, and that we can use entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, build a business around that, become a resource person or somebody in that sector to help us to be able to solve our problems, please, if you believe this, kindly type in the chat box, agree. Please type in the chat box, agree. Type agree, type agree, type agree, type agree. Type agree, type agree. All right. Any questions up to this point, please, before I continue? Any comments, any questions? Please raise your hand and then let's see. So now what we have done so far is that we've come to understand the problems in the health sector. We have situated our course, the relationship marketing strategy and entrepreneurship course in your sector, for us to see on what foundation based upon which we are building this course. And that's what I want to do. Okay. Any questions up to this point, please raise your hand or drop your question in the chat box. Any question? I think you have been muted. So if you don't raise your hand for us to allow you to speak, you won't be able to speak. So please raise your hand. Let's allow you if there are any questions for me to answer before you go. All right. If there are no questions, I want to ask you a question here. I want to ask you. Okay. Hayford, please go ahead first. Rosina, kindly allow Hayford to speak. Hayford,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
I be heard? Can I be heard, please?
Yes, very, very loud and clear.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So, please, I want to find out regarding some of these ventures. I want to look at certification. At our level, won't we need some higher certifications to be able to run some of these ventures on our own?
Yeah. Hayford, thank you very much too for the question. Yes, there are some businesses, if you want to go in now, you may need certification. So for example, if you want to go into a pharmacy business, you need certification. If you want to set up a hospital, you need certification. But if you want to go into training, like I do, consultancy, like I do, you might not need certification immediately. But of course, there are a lot of certification programs you may want to take to enhance your credibility. So for example, I'm a certified strategy professional from institute in Canada. I'm a chartered marketer. I'm a member of the Association of Accredited Small Business Consultants in the US. I'm also a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing UK and then Ghana. Those are certifications that gives me credibility, that gives me leverage. But you don't necessarily need that because once you can deliver on what you can do, certifications are only paper. Okay, so it helps. And if you come to your field in your professional area, I'm sure that there are some things if you want to do, you may have to get NMC or Medical Dental Council, whatever, their permission to be able to do what you want to do. So, for example, last year I applied for accreditation from NMC, so that when I come to your facility and have training programs with you, you can use my certificate as to renew your PIN. And I'm going to do it again this year. Okay, and that even gave me extra money because if you are taking that certificate from me, you pay for it. Because I have to pay NMC and pay Medical and Dental Council for their accreditation. Okay, so if I do that, it gives me credibility. It means that if I have a permission from NMC, that I can leverage on them and tell my participant that yes, NMC has given me the accreditation to run courses, and that my certificate can allow you to renew your PIN. Of course, you come as compared to if I didn't have it at all. Okay, so I agree with you. There are sometimes you would need certification to do some of these things. You need them, and you have to identify which areas you need certification, research around that, and you go for it. And Lukman says that, please, what about the home treatment service? Is a need for some certification? As it is now, I don't know. I don't know if there's certification for it, but the lady who is doing it now, I don't think has any certification doing it. I've actually asked her to come and share her experience with us one of these days, but she's been very reluctant. Last year, I tried. She doesn't want to. I don't know why she doesn't want to. She says they're doing well, but I don't think she has any permission per se in doing that. But I know she's taking a course from one of the US agencies on advanced wound care treatment or something like that. She's done some certification in that area, advanced wound care, some program. You need to understand and have knowledge, in-depth knowledge in what you want to do. You need that. Okay, but as to if you need to have permission per se, I'm not too sure, but we need to investigate to get it. Lukman, thank you very much. Any more questions before I move on? Any more questions? All right. Okay, so now let's move on to talk about what I term as pathway to career and professional prosperity. Pathway to career and professional prosperity. So the foundation I'm trying to lay for all of us is that it is extremely possible that if we take the profession that we have now as nurses, midwife, and health professionals, if we take our profession seriously, we can go into that profession based on the foundation we have laid right now and find opportunities to become entrepreneurs or to become intrapreneurs. Both ways would create prosperity for you. Both ways will help to create your own personal economy. Both ways would help you to be able to make money for yourself and make impact in the society. And that's what I want to share about right now. All right. Now, I would want one of you to read about. Now, let's define what entrepreneurship is all about. Who wants to volunteer to read for me? Can you raise your hand? And then Rosina would allow you to speak. Who wants to read for us, please? Quickly, let's do it. All right. Rosina, please allow Theophilos to read for us. Theophilus, can you unmute your microphone? I think she's done it. All right. Anybody else want to read? Okay, Theophilus, please go
Please, you
ahead.
can unmute.
Okay, please, thank you. What is an entrepreneurship? The ability to identify a problem or an opportunity in society and organize the needed resources. That's money, people, technology, to create an innovative solution to solve the problem or take advantage of the opportunity for the specified target market in an exchange of reward whilst taking on financial risks and uncertainty.
Great. So in trying to see the pathway to health prosperity, the pathway to creating wealth with your profession, I want us to understand what entrepreneurship is. And entrepreneurship is very simple. We'll go deeper into it as we go on the discussion with the class and some examples that we'll give along the journey. It's basically about number one, identifying a problem or an opportunity. And as it is now, we have laid a very strong foundation that there are too many problems in the health sector and there are too many opportunities. We'll also come to define what the problem is and what an opportunity is. So the first stage in trying to build an entrepreneurial business is that you should be able to have that ability, that skill set to identify problems and opportunities. And where are you identifying this from? You are identifying these problems and opportunities, number one, in society in general, and most importantly, in the health sector. And that's why I tried for us to look at all the issues that I've seen based on my research about what is happening in the health sector. What are the problems in there? What are the challenges in there? For example, when I went to the Mine Crow to go and do the training that I did for them, I noticed that there's no serious private hospital in there. And that area is a catchment area for a very big business in terms of health. The people from Cote d'Ivoire, it's more like a referral center in that part of the region. For me, as an entrepreneur, as a teacher in entrepreneurship, I quickly identified an opportunity, meaning that there's a favorable set of circumstances in that town that if somebody is able to set up a private hospital, a top-notch private hospital, this person will be able to attract even patients from Cote d'Ivoire. If we're interested for us to set a hospital there, please talk to me. Let's talk after. Huge opportunity. In my mind, last night, I was just putting some points down. Can we find an investor to invest in a private hospital in Domain Group? Very possible. Okay, so now that's why I said to you last week that the fastest way to take people out of poverty is to expose them to the power of entrepreneurship. Because once you do that, you expose them to the power of being alert about how to identify problems and build a business around that. How to identify problems, develop solutions to them, and then build a business around that. That's all about it. So now for me, in Domain Crew, there is no serious private hospital. The only big hospital in there is a Presby hospital, which is good. But can we have an alternative? And there are people living in that area from Cote d'Ivoire, from Drobo, from all those areas who are looking for top-notch hospital. And there are people who are living in Domain Crew, Brekum, from all the areas around, even from the border area, who drive all the way to Accra or Kumasi to look for private hospitals to take care of them. So if you're able to build a hospital here, what that means is that you are now going to cut off all those who are traveling to Kumasi and Accra to come to your private facility in Domain Crew and get it done. That is the power of entrepreneurship. Now, once you have been able to identify the problem or the opportunity, the definition says that you organize all the needed resources. And these resources would include money, would include people, would include technology, would include everything that you need to be able to start a business. You have to put it together. That is why the entrepreneurs are people who are serious people. They take risk. And then once you're able to get all those resources, you develop innovative solution to solve the problems or take advantage of the opportunity. And you find a specific target market to sell those products and services to them. But hey, once you do that, you are going to be rewarded. Once you bring an innovative solution to the problems of people, you'll be rewarded. And that reward will come in many forms, in kind and in cash. But one thing we must all be very careful is that in trying to solve this problem, in trying to build a hospital at Domain Crew, in trying to bring innovative solutions to the problem we have in the health sector, there are risks. And the risks are that it is very possible that whatever solution that you build, you come up with, people may not patronize it. People may not buy it. So be ready for it as well. Yeah, fine. It's possible we are saying that, well, there's no private hospital in Domain Crew, so let us build a private hospital. It is very possible we can do that. But it's also very possible that the people living in that area, they love the present hospital so well that it doesn't matter who comes to the new hospital, they won't go there. It's very possible. How about if you set up the hospital and the chief at Domain Crew calls the people and say, Master, nobody should go to this hospital again. What are you going to do? So what we are saying is that entrepreneurship helps people to solve problems and create wealth out of that. But in trying to do that, there's a risk of failure. And that's why it's important to go through training. It's important to go through mentorship. It's important to go through for lectures like what we're doing right now, so that whatever business that you are starting, you start it and own it well. If it makes sense to you, please type sense in the chat box. Please type sense in the chat box. And I intentionally ask you to do what I ask you to do because if you have to type, please type sense in the chat box. If it makes sense to you, please type sense in the chat box. And again, I'll pause for a while. And if anybody has any concerns, any confusion around the definition of entrepreneurship, please ask me now before I move on. Any questions? We've tried to define what entrepreneurship is. Any concerns, any ideas? So that I can answer it for you before I move on. Okay. So if there are none, let's move on then. Now, the person behind that process of identifying the problem and then organizing the resources, taking all the risk, and trying to build a business out of that is called entrepreneur. So the entrepreneurship is the process. The entrepreneur is the person behind the entrepreneurship process. That should be very clear to everybody. So if I decide, for example, to identify a gap at Domain Crew, no private hospital opportunity, I organize resources, I build a hospital, I start marketing it, I start getting patients, we start making money, and it succeeds. Me, the person becomes the entrepreneur. I'm the person behind the success of the business. But the process that I went through to be able to set up the hospital is called entrepreneurship. And that's what we are doing this semester. How can we go through this process step by step to be able to build a business? And the person doing it is called the entrepreneur. So we say that entrepreneurs are those who create a new business in the face of risk and uncertainty for the purpose of achieving profit and growth by identifying opportunities and assembling the necessary resources to capitalize on them. That is a human being. Okay, all right. Now, the basis of entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. In order for us to say that an idea, an opportunity, or a business is an opportunity, is an entrepreneurial venture, it must qualify for these 5 critical things. And I call them the 5ER. The 5ER means that the idea must make life better. Please note these ones down. Very, very important. And the word to the wise is enough. The idea that we are talking about, the solution we are providing, the business we are providing should make life better. It should make life easier. It should make life faster. It should make life relatively cheaper. And moreover, it should make life much more convenient. If we're able to create any business around this, if we're able to create any solution around this, my dear friends, you will be in business. You will start making money. And the money you make will be big. What does it mean? Let's take an example of Uber or Bolt. Bolt has made transportation much better than taking drop-in and drop. It has made life easier. You order for a boat, it drives straight to your house easier instead of walking to the roadside. Number 3, it has made life faster. Instead of me walking from my house through the sun, through the rain, to go and stand by the roadside about 2 to 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, sometimes 1 hour before you get the car, it has made life faster. Relatively, it's cheaper. Relatively. And most importantly, it's extremely convenient. I have a friend who has sold his car and started a business with the money he got from selling the car. And now all that he uses only boat wherever he goes. Accra, Kumasi, anywhere he travels, he uses only boat because it is cheaper for him. Now he doesn't do maintenance, he doesn't buy fuel, he doesn't do insurance, police is not arresting him. All that he does is that he uses boat. He's going for meeting, he orders boat, it takes him along. When he's done, he takes boat, he comes back. And the money that he got from selling his car, he was using Toyota Camry. He sold the car for 230,000 Ghana cedis. He has invested 160,000 Ghana cedis in his business. He has saved the rest of the money from the car and is using the result, the profit he's making from the business to be taking boat. Better off. Why would you drive a 500,000 cedi car and you're broke? And you can't even pay fuel. You can't even do maintenance. Well, a word to the wise is enough. So in trying to understand how beneficial entrepreneurship is, or how innovative solution we can bring to society to make life better for all of us, that idea that you have should make life better, should make life easier, should make life faster, should make life cheaper, and should make life very, very convenient. If you qualify for all these ones, you have created an innovative solution to solve the many problems we have in the health sector, and eventually you become rich. Good. Now, quickly, let us walk through the difference between entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs. An intrapreneur, let me just try to explain a bit. When we say somebody is an intrapreneur, now we know who an entrepreneur is. So an entrepreneur starts a business, but the intrapreneur works in an existing business. So now, for example, you can be working in a hospital, but your mindset, the way you think, the way you do things is just thinking like an entrepreneur. It means that, yes, you are working as a full-time nurse or midwife or medical doctor or pharmacist, but your mindset is always about solving problems. Your mindset is always identifying problems and opportunities and taking advantage of them. So now you think differently. You think in a way that you don't blame people anymore. You don't complain anymore, but you are always finding solutions to the problem that you see around you. Once you start thinking like that, you become an intrapreneur. Okay. So now let me get one of you to read quickly what you see on the screen. Can somebody volunteer to quickly read for us? Please read for us what you see on the screen. Who wants to volunteer? Quickly, we don't have too much time. Who wants to read? Who wants to read? Who wants to read? Oh, nobody wants to volunteer? Rosina, then go ahead and do it for us.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes, please.
So there's entrepreneur and then intrapreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who sets off to build their own business from scratch. An intrapreneur is an employee responsible for innovating change at an existing company. So the differences: start their own organization, start initiatives within an existing business, procure their own resources provided by their company, independent, dependency, dependence, assumed by themselves, risks, taken by the company, reap all the benefits of potential success, reward, company receives financial reward, complete control, autonomy, works within an existing system, full ownership, none. So
Good.
please.
Yeah, good. So an entrepreneur at the top of it says that an entrepreneur is someone who sets off to build their own business from scratch. But intrapreneur, an intrapreneur is an employee responsible for innovating change at the existing company. So the difference is that whilst the entrepreneur is outside of an organization trying to start his own business, the intrapreneur works in an organization by things like an entrepreneur. And those are the difference that we have given here. Okay, please take this seriously. The difference between entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs, please take it seriously. And I'll tell you again that the word to the wise is enough. So let's move on quickly. Let's see some problem that we see around. So now I gave you some ideas from the health sector. Let's now look at some of the very basic life issues that we see. So if you see on the screen right now is the way we used to eat our fufu. In fact, we still do it anyway. But there are some people who still think that the best way to eat fufu is go through this hassle. And I know how long it takes for us to do this. I'm sure like 2 hours or so. Look at the stress this man has to go through. He's not even wearing standards. And after going through all this stress, he has to go and do some alomo ginger or something like that before he can even eat the food because an appetite in an article. It's so stressful. But we still want to eat the fufu. Somebody sits down and feels that, isn't there a better way to eat our fufu? Isn't there a way to make eating fufu faster, convenient, cheaper, and whatever, convenient for all of us? So somebody comes out with neat fufu. Of course, the taste might not be the same, but I'm feeling strongly that in terms of hygienic nature of the food, the neat fufu is much better. I mean, a nutritionist was even telling me sometime last year that I was doing this presentation and he made a very interesting comment. She said that in terms of digestion, neat fufu even digests faster than the normal fufu that we eat because the neat fufu has gone through a little bit of processes. So in terms of breaking it down, by your body breaking it down, it breaks down faster as against our cassava that we do the traditional way, which makes a lot of sense. You see how long it takes to do the traditional fufu and see how long it takes to get your normal fufu. So now, for example, daddy is a medical doctor, mommy is a banker. Mommy is a nurse, daddy is a banker. Both of you go to work 8 a.m. in the morning, you close at 6 p.m. in the evening. By the time you get to the house, everybody's tired. How am I going to get my family to eat fufu the traditional way? It is not possible. So, for example, in my family, we buy meat fufu in a box, in a carton. We buy them in a carton. And I can eat fufu anytime because the soup always in the fridge. I only have to just warm the soup, get my fufu on the fire. 5-10 minutes, I'm done. And I eat my fufu and I go and sleep. As against spending 2 hours to get your fufu to eat. This is the power of entrepreneurship. This is the power of thinking creative, being innovative about the problem we see around us. Next one. These are broken bottles. I mean, these are normal bottles. Now, people even break bottles, they put it on the ground, people step on them, and cut them, and all kinds of things. Somebody decided to now brand bottles into this beautiful design that you see on the screen. And this lady is my client. She did fashion design at Kumasi Polytechnic. She wasn't finding any job to do. She came to one of my training programs, and then she found that idea that, I can even collect bottles and make designs out of that. And one of the designs she did is what you see on the screen. In fact, this is somebody, a lady, actually it wasn't a husband and wife, it was a girlfriend who designed this, bought this for the boyfriend on his birthday. So the boyfriend has actually kept this in his office. And it's so beautiful, my friends. All that this lady does is that she collects empty bottles around and then decorate them in this way. If you love this, please, if you love this design on the screen, please type love and love. Type love, L-O-V-E. Type love, type love, type love, type love. That is the power of entrepreneurship. Okay, let's go to the next one. Is it possible we can term this guy to as entrepreneur? I would say yes. All of us know Lewin. Kojo Nkansa. Kojo Nkansa, everybody says Wajimi. But on Jimmy, Wajimi Kra, this guy is a millionaire in Ghana right now. Why? Because Kojo Nkansa Lewin was able to tap into his creative potential, which I will explain to you in the course of the semester. He was able to tap into his gift as somebody who can make people laugh, as somebody who can entertain people. And by just entertaining people, this guy has become filthy fucking rich. Kojo Nkansa Lewin doesn't have a JHS certificate. Kojo Nkansa Lewin doesn't have a PhD. Kojo Nkansa has a school. I have a PhD. I don't have a school, my friends. I have a PhD, but the Kojo Nkansa is 100 times popular than I am. It doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make Kojo Nkansa a better person. What it means to us is that each one of us must tap into our creativity and find out what we are crafted for and tap into that and build a business model around that. And once you're able to do that, you make money. Look at Nana Mama Brown. Nana Mama Brown is a millionaire in Ghana. She's filthy fucking rich. Why is she filthy fucking rich? She's rich because she's found a way to use her talent to help people build businesses. She does advertising for companies. Do you know how much she charges for just one TV commercial or TV advert? You have no idea. Look at Akokrobeto. What do you call that guy's name, Grumble? That guy. That guy is just funny. Look at the Leyland Paint that the Leyland Paint TV advert that he does. Don't go left, don't go right, go front and buy Leyland Paint. Just that alone, the guy is paid for it. My dear friends, what is your talent? What is your gift that you can tap into and transform that into a business? I have found mine. Mine is to learn, understand it, break complex PhD corporate level strategy down to the level of the small business owner, go out there and train them and coach them, and they pay me money for it. I show you the screen of the company that I work for. What is your talent? Some of you are serious cooks, but you cook for only your family. My dear friend, start cooking for kids. Start cooking for kids. One of our ladies at Garden City, as she finished last year, she was a business student. She noticed that most of the boys don't like to cook. And they don't like to cook because they feel that it's too cumbersome. It takes too much for them. She started preparing stew and soup and things. I think she was doing more of stews for the boys. So you place order on Thursday, and then I think she was charging between 200 and 300 cedis per stew or something like that. The lady was making money. And one time, when she said it in my entrepreneurship class, I actually asked her to bring me some of the stew to eat. My goodness, the stew was nice. She brought some palava sauce and plantain. This was just a level 200 student. She's now in level 400, I think. She's still doing it. You are a cook and you are cooking for yourself only. My friend, start cooking for people and start making money. You know how to do hair. You know how to do hair. You know how to do serious makeups. It's your talent. What I'm trying to say is that if you look in yourself, there's something that you love to do that you can transform into business. We'll talk about that some other time in the course of the semester. All right, okay? Now, look at this, for example. We used to, I mean, I'm sure you still do it. How to test pregnancy. You take somebody's blood sample, you take it to a lab, and they do all those kind of things. Now, somebody sits down and feels that, no. Is there a better way to do it? Instead of just doing this evasion, just putting a needle, which I don't like anyway, trying to take blood from the person's skin, let's use urine. And the urine gives you, put it on this machine, and instantly you get to see the result. Recently, I saw one of the social media posts that was saying that now this apparatus that they use to check for pregnancy, it can even detect the picture of the father. I say, hey, the men are dead, oh, we are in trouble. So as soon as you put the urine there, it's able to detect the picture of the husband who got you pregnant. Challenges are serious. I don't know if that was true though, but that's how people are thinking. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm just trying to share with you with all these ideas is that there's so much we can do. And that's why I've told you that there are two promises I'm giving you. One, number one, if you take this course seriously, you make good grades. Number two, by the time we end the semester, give yourself from now to the end of the year. Honestly, you build a business. Now, because our course is in the health sector, let's just define what health entrepreneurship is. Okay. And quickly, Rosina, can you read for us? And we'll just close very soon. Read what you see on the screen.
Okay, sir. Health entrepreneurship empowers healthcare employees to innovate services, products, and processes. They foster creativity and risk-taking by identifying opportunities to enhance patient care and operations. This approach improves efficiency and patient outcomes while rewarding entrepreneurs for their innovative contributions.
Perfect. Perfect. So I want you to focus your attention more on the health sector. So we call it health entrepreneurship. How do you identify health ideas be in your sector and be able to build a business around that? And in both ways, you could be a health entrepreneur or to become health intrapreneur. Both ways would create some benefits for you. All right. So Rhoda says that God bless you for opening our eyes, Doc. Thank you very much, Rhoda. And then also Abigail says that, oh yes, we do hair, oh, but for our kids. Yes, you have done well for doing your hair for the kids. Please commercialize it. Commercialize, especially kids. In my house around our square, I'll tell you this story. Abigail, thank you very much for doing this. There's a lady around our house. Every Saturday, she starts work around 6 a.m. And then parents would bring their girls, their small girls, the little girls, and she plays the hair for them. And I can't imagine the number of cars I see every single Saturday. Cars are lined up because some of the parents can't play the head for their kids. So they have to bring their kids to them to do. The last time I actually went there to talk to her, I said, Madam, what you're doing, you can make a lot of money out of that. And she's not charging very small. I was asking, why would you charge a small amount of money for the work you do? Jack, you have to charge. It's your skill set. You have to make money out of that. So I advise her that she has to find other people to help her to do that because one person cannot do a lot of kids in a day. And then number two, you should find some playing items, some games and things around so that the kids, while they're waiting for their parents or their turn to have their hair done, they can be playing around. It might shock you that if this lady actually comes to me, honestly, I'll help this lady build a very serious business around what she's doing right now. Okay, that's very good. Steven says that please, if I open mortuary, you guys go die. Oh, Fuoko, in few. Nobody will die, Steven. I beg you. We don't want to die. You don't want to die. You need to buy. We need a mortuary. We need it. We need it because of course, we need it. We need mortuary, and that's a very very good business too. And Abigail, thank you, sir, for, let me see what Abigail says. In fact, we'll start advertising immediately. Yeah, it's true. Thank you. All right. So let's quickly see. I think we've done this already. So let me quickly walk you through the stages of becoming an entrepreneur, the stages of building a business. Number one, you might decide to become an entrepreneur or intrapreneur. It has to be a decision. It has to be an intentional decision that you want to be one. Because I can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. Now, once you decide to become an intrapreneur or become an entrepreneur, number two, you must start developing ideas. You must start generating ideas. You must start looking for problems and opportunities. And then number three, you must validate idea using design thinking. You must validate idea using feasibility analysis. And then once your feasibility analysis confirms that that idea you have identified is good, you must develop your business plan, which I'll teach you in this class. And then once your business plan is written and you have the funding for it, please go ahead and launch the business in the shortest possible time. And indeed, you can become very rich. It's not easy, but it's very possible. At all. It's not easy. I'll tell you. It's not easy at all. And when we come to talk about the benefits and the challenges of entrepreneurship, you understand that, yes, there are a lot of benefits to become an entrepreneur, but honestly, it's not child's play. It is not child's play. It's a lot of work. So, for example, I think last time I told you, because I do full-time teaching in the university, by 6:30 a.m., I'll be in my consulting business, and by 8:30, I close. I go to work at Garden City full-time. I close at 4:30. By 5:30, I'm back in the office, and I sometimes stay from 5:30, 6 p.m., from 6 p.m. at like 8 p.m. before I go home. So technically, I work like 4 hours in my part-time business. But today, my part-time business pays me much more than my full-time business pays me. It takes a lot of work, a lot of tenacity, a lot of self-motivation, a lot of learning and reading, a lot of sacrifices. I mean, sometimes your family would just be very angry with you because you're not there for them. So how do you balance the work and then your family, your work, full-time work, and your part-time business at the same time? It's not easy, but I tell you, it's worth it. It is worth it. And I thank God that He's given me that opportunity to do what I do right now. And I pray the same thing for all of you. And this semester, I'm going to challenge you. I'm honestly challenging all of you. It might not be this semester, it might not be this year, but I'm challenging you. I'm trying to expose you to the power of entrepreneurship. And then one day, you'll be able to do something for yourself and then get there. Okay? All right, so we'll bring our discussion to an end now. Kindly, if you have any questions, any comments, you can ask me now before we close. But just to let you know again, I'm also inviting you to join me every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Build to Last. So last week, I thank all of you who were able to join the session. This week, Thursday, we are continuing. So you can take a screenshot of the QR code on the screen now and join us. And then you can be part of it from next week, okay? If you want to ask me any question, you have my number already. Kindly drop me a WhatsApp message and I'll be very glad to answer them for you as we go on. So thank you very much. And that's Garden City University for you. We are happy you are here. If there are any concerns, any questions, please, now you can now have some 5-10 minutes discussion. Ask me your questions, give me your comments, and then we'll bring our class to an end. But whilst we are waiting for the questions and all the conversations to come, if you have found value in a chat, if you have found value today in this discussion, and if I've challenged your mind and you think you are going to take some maximum action to improve your own personal economy, please type value in the chat box. We are 600 plus in the class. I want every single one of you to type value in the chat box. Please type value in the chat box. Please type value in the chat box. All right, so let me see. I think I saw a couple of questions in here. Some of us are into farming. Excellent. Farming is Collins, don't give up. Farming is serious. This week, no, it was last week, I think. Last week I had a chance to do some project for the Ghana Tree Crop Authority, Ghana Tree Crop Development Authority, and there's so much opportunity in there that I saw. I'm thinking of going into farming actually. I'm thinking of doing something in the palm oil area. And Rosina says a good business is setting up a creche near a hospital. Excellent. Rosina, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. A creche around the hospital will be an excellent idea. Excellent. Excellent. That's giving me another idea. I'm just going to start searching around to see where I can set up some business there. Some coaches are good on the field of play, but Doc, yours is universal. Oh, oh. I say, I'm fluffing. Oh, thank you so much. All right, so Francis, the QR code again. Say, okay, I'm going to drop it. I'll drop the link in the in your class page, so it becomes easier to click and just join the class, join the page where we share the link every single time. Okay. Sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for staying with me up to this point. I'm grateful for you making time to be here. So Ibrahim said that please, Doc, my take home is 4,200. I have wife and kids plus family members. Burden any business idea for me? Okay, sorry, you sent to me private. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I didn't should have read this in public. Ibrahim, forgive me. Kindly let's talk after class. I'm sorry, I didn't see that was private. All right, so let's talk after class. Hayford says that, please, sir, if I find opportunity somewhere different from where I work, do I need to relocate? Of course, it depends on factors that you need to consider. It could be that you have to start a business gradually. If it works, you can relocate. Otherwise, you can set it up nicely and make sure that all the structure and systems are working in that business, and then you can relocate when the business start getting better. And then Prince says, thank you very much for great job. Thank you, Prince, as well. Florence says that, please say, I sell smoke, kente, and baby girl African wear. I get profit but I end up spending it on my kids' items. Help me with financial discipline, please. Please talk to me. I beg you. Florence, let's talk after class. Maybe later in the evening, let's talk. There's something you have to do. Once you're making profit, we need to make sure that you sustain that business and make a lot of money out of that. Don't chop all the eggs. If you start eating all the eggs that are the profit, eventually you won't get enough eggs to crack more chicken for you to sell. So be careful. All right, Chefilo says, thank you, Doc. You are the mirror that I will be looking into all the time. Thank you very much, Chefilos. All right, so say your contact. Somebody's asked, so my contact is 050-601-6060. I'll drop in a chat box. 050-601-6060. You can reach me, WhatsApp me, and then we can have a conversation from there. So Henrietta said that I want to start a laptop business. Please, any guidance? A lot. You can do a lot in there. A lot. I have a client that sells a MacBook Pro, Mac machines, as in Mac laptops. He's doing very, very well. Very, very well. So we can talk after that as well. Abigail says that I want to invest into another business. I want to invest. Okay, you want to be an investor in another person's business. That's excellent. There's a lot we can do. So let's have a conversation. All right, so guys, thank you all very much. We'll meet again next week Thursday in the evening, 7 to 8 p.m. And then next week Saturday again, we'll continue our conversation. I will drop an assignment for you to do in the chat box on the class page. So please just be looking, and I'll tell you when you're submitting them on the learning platform. Rosina, any comment? No, sorry. Any announcement?
No, sir.
All right. So thank you very much, Rosie, for being my co-pilot. Have a good day and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.